As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Check yourself for injuries.
Other than the infection, you're more or less intact. A miracle, given everything you've been through, but it'll all be for nothing if you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Something's on my mind.
Reach for the artifact.
What are you doing?
Checking if you are alive.
I'm alive, yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive?
I was hoping you might know that.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Do you have any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
What happened with our Gith friend?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
You want to stay together, I take it?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
All right, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way. Something the matter?
What's the story with that little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
What do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We haven't gone all that far yet. What are you referring to exactly?
You must have thoughts about our little stowaways.
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. We've no solid leads right now, though. We'd best get hunting. If you discover anything that might help us, I'm all ears.
What will you do if we actually manage to remove the tadpoles?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
Where would you go?
Home. Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Seems personal. I won't pry if it's not something you want to talk about.
Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
Fresh water. There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
More of those wretched things. Seems like a good moment to talk.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Easily. Stand back.
There. Can you see it?
Just a dumb boar. You're relieved until you see the flash of a dagger.
Put it away. We don't need to fight.
Don't we? I saw you on the ship. Free, scuttling about. You're in league with them, aren't you? Those tentacle... Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
The Mindflayer's worm. It's connected us.
The worm? Of course. That explains things. Somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Glad to see we're all caught up now.
Indeed we are. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm Fane, and here's my story.
My, you've been busy. So, did you learn anything about these worms while wandering the ship?
Yes, unfortunately. They'll turn us into Mindflayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
Control it. We need to get rid of it.
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
You should travel with me. Our odds are better together.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And anyone that can crash a Mindflayer ship and walk away seems like a good person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
Astarion's an interesting find. Let's hope any future acquaintances don't hold a blade to your throat by way of introduction.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
I have something to ask.
So, we're resting here. Turning in for the night.
It's no feather bed, but it'll do.
I suppose. I'm not really sure what I expected, really. This is all a little new. The night normally means bustling streets, bursting taverns. Curling up in the dirt and resting is, a little novel.
Give it a try. We need to be fresh tomorrow.
I'm in no place to rest yet. Today has been a lot. I need some time to think things through. To process this. You sleep. I'll keep watch.
I'm not tired yet. I'll sleep later.
Suit yourself. Sweet dreams.
What were you two talking about?
What do you mean?
You and the pale fellow.
We were just discussing the next steps.
I see. I'd be careful with Astarion.
You don't trust Astarion?
Trust is a rare currency. Not sure I'd spend it on someone who drew a knife on me moments after I met them. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer. You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
Agreed. The sooner we find someone to help us, the better.
Good. We might even get lucky and find one right away. As I see it, we're overdue some good fortune. Rest well. Something the matter?
I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
You must have thoughts about our little stowaways.
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. We've no solid leads right now, though. We'd best get hunting. If you discover anything that might help us, I'm all ears. I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
This is not the world you know. Rest feels impossible, no matter how heavy your eyes become. Every time they flicker shut, the tadpole seems to twitch behind them. Dragons, geese, and the hells themselves have come after you. Yet it is this creature that lingers in your skull.
The tadpole influences you. Perhaps you might influence it in return.
You focus on that spot of pain from when it slipped behind your eye to where it now lurks. You cannot prod it, but you can make it clear that you are watching. What is there to fear when it is the one stuck inside you? It is a minor victory, but enough to soothe you to sleep.